I feel like it's a dumb debate to be like, is it strategy versus energy? Like there will be moments where you're led to changing something in the way that your business is for good reason. Like, for example, like if you have, a system that's not supporting your business and things like that, but it's like, it's not the strategy that's like doing that. Like, it's like you could do it in a billion different ways. That's why you have people successful in many different ways in how they got there, right? There's no right or wrong way.
Perfectly said. Honestly, there's like there's no much
more. Like I said, I feel like it's a silly debate, and I understand it because I was in it for a while.
I wish we could get up our past like messages of how we used to be like, but is it
am I doing the right? Yeah, and I think a lot of the time when things aren't popping off in our business or we don't feel like the momentum's there, it's very easy to go into like, what am I doing wrong? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's so uncomfortable to be like, maybe something's wrong with my energy. Maybe like I am closing myself off.
People are creating from this like discomfort of lack of momentum, feeling unsafe, and lack of money. When you're creating from that place, what energy is that creating from? Let's look at the energetic undercurrent. Lack without, don't have, need.
So you just keep getting those same results no matter how much you change.
Exactly. That's the same thing again and again and again and again.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Consciously Thriving podcast.
How's your week been, doll?
It's been really, really good. So just to inform everyone, I think in the last episode we said I was going away to Bali. Yeah. So I've just gotten back from Bali. I had a week's hen. I had my sister's hens there for a week.
What a vibe.
Yeah, I think there was 9 or 10 girls, which was really, really fun. We were out and we were just a lot of socialization. So and then when we came back, the week of was my sister's bridal shower that just passed.
You guys had a lot on.
Yeah. So socially, my battery is dead.
Yeah.
I think all the girls, when we got back, were a bit like sleeping. Some got Bali belly, so not hard. But it was a really, really fun trip, and I'm just slowly getting my energy back. I was literally saying like, I'm so grateful to have had that experience with my sisters, because I feel like you can let life get in the way of those things. And I feel like we are at the age where I feel, I don't know, but like, not that I think kids do anything, but like to be able to do that specific trip before like my sisters and stuff, like probably try to have children and things like that, was a really, really like special moment. It's just not that we wouldn't ever do those things. It's just, it's different because we had all the freedom in the world. We were going out a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just like really like happy to have done that with my sisters.
Yeah, that's really nice. It looked like such a fun trip. I was living
vicariously
through you. No, I was like sitting here in Melbourne, watching them on all of their stories. Honestly, having a laugh with you.
Having a laugh.
Virtually.
The videos I said.
Virtually. Nah, it looked really fun. I think her hens in Bali would just be the best. I fucking love Bali. I want to live
Bali's
there.
The best.
I love it.
Yeah, Bali's a vibe. I've gone 3 years in a row now, so.
Honestly, if I had it my way, I'd live there. I just want to drag everyone I know.
Everyone I know. That's the thing, right? Because I would love to go there, but I don't. It's like not one of those things where I feel like, I don't know, for me, I'm just like, I'm such a social person, so I'm like, I would love to have the people in my life come with me.
Yeah, I would miss everyone.
I would miss it. And it's like, yeah, some people have that really strong pull to like move overseas and go by themselves. And which I think is like also really important to do. But I'm like, if my people went,
yeah,
it would be a vibe.
Honestly, it would be such a
Although
vibe.
the hair situation's not great.
Well, that's another thing that's actually stopping me. No, seriously.
You need weekly hairdressers there.
Honestly, but it doesn't even last. Like for me, it's like 3 seconds, and I'm like, my hair is
I went to get my hair done, and I'm just like, what's going on? Because I just went.
Was it buffy? Yeah.
Buffy after.
Yeah, no, it's fucked. Like in Bali, my hair is just it literally aligns me.
It's straw.
It's
like the water you wash it with as well. It's not filtered, so it's like.
Oh my god! When I went last time with Mum and Ollie, we were in Ubud.
Yeah.
And there was this like natural pool coming off this waterfall.
Oh.
It was insanity. When we put our hair in it, our hair was so silky soft. Mum like got water bottles and she was grabbing the pool water to wash her hair.
No, honestly. And it's like, apparently you should wash your hair, like to wash it in clean water before you do it there, like just protect the barrier or something like that. But yeah, like can do some damage.
Yeah, it can. It definitely can, particularly like, yeah.
But if we did ever move there, oh my god, just like manifesting this, but if we ever did, like you'd organise for your house to have filtered water, because your hair can't.
How ridiculous is it that we, like, you're like, if we ever planned on moving there, like we're not even planning with our partners, we're just like.
Every time we go out in public, everyone's like, you guys are twins. It's happening a lot recently.
No, recently, I think in the last like 2 weeks, we've gotten it at least 12,000 times.
Yeah.
At least. And that's no SST.
That's no shoelace services and tax. That's
No.
our little joke if you don't know.
It seriously is.
Yeah.
A lot. You know how you say that I give like shoelace services and tax?
I do too.
You do so much.
I do.
If something's $60, she'll be like, it's basically $50.
NST.
Oh, NST.
No,
That's
but still, it's still the same vibe. Like,
Yeah.
you're adding, like, you're fluffing it around a bit.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll do, like, if you want it to go in your favor and make it sound better.
What do I
like,
do?
if you be like, oh, you're basically getting, like, I was getting $90, you'd be like, you basically got $100. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, she actually adds on a proper 10% though.
Yeah. Love it. So today's podcast episode is the continuation of our last episode, which was part 1 of our business and business spirituality Q&A. So I'm very, very excited. So if you haven't actually listened to the previous episode, recommend like starting with that. Although like it can be a standalone episode. You'll just get all the questions, you'll get all the juice if you listen to the episode first. But
yeah,
at the same time, do as you please.
Yeah, you can definitely listen to it on its own, but you get better context when you listen to the first episode first.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was really good. Like,
If
I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself, I feel like these are some really, I feel like sometimes it's like, we often think like, I don't have that problem or I don't have that question, but like when you listen to the answers, there's always something to learn in them. That's why I'm like, you might not necessarily feel like you're dealing with this problem at this moment, but just by listening, you gain a lot.
Yeah. That's what, like, one of my favorite things about being in, like, masterminds, group programs and things like that.
Yeah.
When you're in group experiences, sometimes you feel like you don't have questions, but then what other people bring to the space, you just learn and gain so much from. And you don't even think it's, as you said, you don't think it's something you're dealing with. But then when you receive the answer, you're like, wow, that actually touched me. And that meant a lot to me. And it activated all of these codes that I didn't even know I needed activated.
100%. I have that experience all the time.
Yeah, it's the best.
Love that.
So why don't I read the first question?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be more upbeat than last week. I was literally, when I was editing, I realized how fucking monotone I was as I was reading the question. So let's give this a little bit of personality, shall we? Okay, I've put up my prices and I'm not getting any clients come through. I know it's because I'm learning to get behind my prices, but I'm wondering if this means I put them up when I wasn't ready to put them up.
What do you think with this?
You don't want to answer first? Or me
Well,
first?
I feel like you've had a fair bit of experience with pricing.
Yeah, I have had a bit. I have had a fair bit of experience with pricing. The biggest thing with pricing is it's not what you're doing. It's not you putting up the prices. It's not your pricing that is actually resulting in clients or not resulting in clients coming through.
No.
It's where you put the prices up from that needs your attention. So there have been so many times in my like career where there have been moments where I've been asked to put up the price, but it's like I was led to do that by the universe, right? The signs were there, the type of people, like I was getting drained doing the work that I was doing for the price that I was doing it for. It's like the signs were there.
There's a part of you that like felt confident enough to like be like, this is valued at more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it got to that point where it's like my decision, so I'm going to give you the actual example that I have in my head right now. When I first went and did my readings business, I was doing readings for the first time. I hadn't done many of them. So I was like, these are just like, you know, it's going to be a low end reading. It's like, you know, $111. It's just for me to practice and whoever wants to do it, right? And they ended up like kicking off and I got so many coming through and it got to the point where I was getting like really fucking good at reading. I had like so many testimonials coming in. It was one of those things, right? Where it's like word of mouth was really, really spreading and I was like, I was good at my craft. It's like the gain for me, the energetic exchange wasn't enough anymore, right? So it's like I needed to be compensated more for the time and the energy and the effort that was going into these readings because it was like 3 hours of my time at that point because I used to like meditate for a long time beforehand. I really like put a lot into these readings. So I ended up like, it got to that point where it was very clear that my prices needed to go up. And that was different. It was like I had grown with my craft, like I said, not going to repeat myself, right? So there's those situations. And then there are other situations that I've been in my business where I have felt like I should put my prices up because, you know, another mentor has their prices at a certain, like, you know, price. And I know for me, when I moved into doing like one-on-one mentorship for spiritual entrepreneurs, there was a lot of comparison going on where I was like, well, that mentor charges this much. And if I'm only charging this much, don't you think my clients or my potential clients would be like, you know, why would I go with her when she only has, like, you know, she obviously isn't good at what she does, or blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm not as experienced, so why would I have the same pricing?
Yeah. Exactly. So there was so much comparisonitis going around about pricing and what I should do, what I shouldn't do. And I honestly, I'd put my prices up, I'd put my prices down, I'd put my prices up, put my price. And it was because I was trying to make something happen by changing my prices.
Or you put so much power to that.
Exactly. And I genuinely thought when people weren't coming through, it's because of pricing. It's like, but it didn't matter either way. If my pricing was too low, I made a reason out of it. If my pricing was too high, there was a reason out of it. So it's just, it was like that. So the biggest thing I've learned through going on this dance and this journey with pricing is that it doesn't matter what your pricing is at. It really, really, really doesn't. What matters is your energetic relationship and your energy towards your offers and your ability to do your work. And that is what people are responding to. They're not responding to the price that you have it at.
Oh, really? I feel like sometimes, like, I feel pricing can have an impact. Like, if it's like, if you're having it too low and you feel that, I feel like it can have an impact on.
What do you mean?
So, like, if the price, just say, like, I put one of my programs at, like, a price that I didn't feel, like, compensated for, I feel like the clients can feel that on the other end.
Right.
Yeah, so I feel like when your like pricing is too high and your energy is not behind that, I feel like it can be felt on the other end, and I feel like you can restrict a lot. Like when you're like, I don't like saying hold the energy, but like when you're putting your work out there, if there is a subconscious feeling of your pricing being too high, I feel like that can get mirrored back to you, and like that's when you get potentially clients not wanting to like, or getting a lot of comments around like things being too like pricey and things like that. And although those things do happen, I do notice there can be like lots of patterns when the pricing is too high and you can't get that. I feel like it does get mirrored back to you. So I feel like there needs to be some work on, it's like, don't put power, it's like, the thing is, it's like, don't put power to thinking your prices are controlling everything. But I do think you want to feel good about the pricing that you're putting out there.
Yeah, I used to think that. I did. But I don't anymore. So
really?
It's the first time we disagree, Dolly.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I love it for us. Yeah, no. I used to genuinely think that. But like I said, I've been on a journey with fucking putting them up, putting them down, and it doesn't like...
But I'm not talking about like, you know, you can hold yourself in when you're like putting up a price now. There is a point where it's like you genuinely had a lot of anxiety around it, or like felt that, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like if you're putting your prices up now, you're at that stage of like, you're aware of like where it's coming from. Do you know what I mean? Like it can be a part of your ego and you kind of move through that.
Yeah, but I feel like if you are putting your prices and you're getting that energy come up, then it's a perfect opportunity to move through that energy.
That's what I'm saying.
But like, it's like not that, I don't even think that the person needs to put it down at that point. Like if they've
not
made the
down,
decision,
they just need to, I just feel like it would be good. It's a really good opportunity to obviously work through any parts of you that are uncomfortable with the pricing. And then also, yeah, like it's got nothing to, yeah, like the thing is, as I'm saying, it's also got nothing to do with the pricing. It's like everything to do with how you're feeling. I'm like, I'm not saying it's like too high or too low. I'm just saying if you're having those feelings, I think you can get those mirrored back to you in clients.
Yeah, but I feel like you can get, like, it doesn't matter where the pricing is at.
Yeah,
you get
you're
that
right.
at any point of
That's
the journey.
True. That is true.
And I feel as though, like, what I used to do and what we've been taught to do in the past was put the price, like, to a price that you're comfortable at, right?
No, I wouldn't
so you
do
can
that.
get your energy behind it. But I did do that.
Yeah, right.
And because I was told to, right?
Yeah.
So I did put my prices down when I felt like I put them up prematurely. But the thing is, I was avoiding feeling those uncomfortable emotions of not feeling like I was worth the money. And all of those were still in the background. And they were reflected in the clients that I would attract. It didn't matter if my, you know what I mean? So it's like,
it's not about the pricing.
It's like I avoided
we're on the
work.
same thing, but I'm just saying it differently.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I feel like I've been through a journey with that. And I've seen it now, even like with the clients that I take. It doesn't matter. And there's no point, like, once you've put your prices up, there's no point putting them down, because it's like, if it's eliciting certain feelings within you,
you need to address those
You need to
feelings. And that's
address
what
those
I'm just trying
feelings.
to say. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, you know, it's like, it's kind of like, it's not about the price you put it at. It's like, yeah, like what you said, how you feel. And I think like, you don't want to just, you want to like, yeah, like look at the energy in which it's coming from.
Yeah.
And it can get like, I feel like if you're not comfortable with the pricing, it's like you said, it's not about like changing it or fixing it or whatever. Although once you've done some work, you might want to do that and you might feel like that's a aligned decision for you. But it's like, yeah, you really do want to look at the energy in which it's coming from.
Yeah,
as
for
the
sure.
most important thing.
And also on top of that as well, like you can put your prices up from ego, like I described before. You can put them up because you're comparing to the other people. And it's not that you actually even wanted to put them up. It's like you didn't like, it's like you actually felt compensated for the work you were doing. It felt like a good energetic exchange, but you just literally put them up because everyone else in the industry put them up.
And that's where you can face some problems as well. I feel like you can start to get, you just feel like you just want to feel kind of good with the pricing. And if you're uncomfortable, that's a good reason to just look into that. And I think sometimes as well with our pricing, when we're uncomfortable with the prices too high, there can also be the situation of you feeling like it can be a self-worth problem as well, which is like a whole nother ball game to really think about. Like when we get into comparison and things like that, like you just really want to make sure that like once you've, you know, locked in a price and you're feeling uncomfortable with it, you just want to make sure that you are seeing the value in your work. And once you do see the value in your work, and that's like something I've come to realize, like I've healed a lot of like this part of me that's like, do I price it at this? Do I price it at that? Like I feel like when you see the value in your work, it gets easier. Like when you actually believe that your work is going to help people, I feel.
That's what I mean. That's why I say it's like, if you're in that moment right now where you're feeling uncomfortable, I would just sit in that discomfort. Yeah. Sit in the discomfort of like no traction coming through. That part of you that's like, do I need to change anything? Do I need to make a different choice? Have I like fucked up with making my pricing what it is? It's like the part of you that's uncomfortable with sitting in that discomfort. And that's all you're being asked to do right now. You're not being asked to change anything. Can you just witness this emotion, feel it, and transmute it? Let your body process it. Yeah. You know?
Do you believe there's ever a situation in which someone would change their pricing?
What do you mean? Like
if it was like, if it just say someone put their pricing up and it was like, they did it from ego and it was so high. Well, high is subjective, right? Because it's like what I've spent on mentor, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. High is very subjective. Yeah. But like, it was like, it was a big stretch and they were trying to get behind it or whatever. Would you ever give the advice to lower it? Or do you feel like that would like...
I feel like it defeats the purpose of like them facing.
No, so you obviously have to face those feelings.
Yeah.
But then do you believe someone would ever get the guidance to then maybe lower
I don't know.
it?
I feel like that would be something that they would have to like
sit with.
You know what I mean? Like
that would have to sit with that.
Yeah, I would never tell anyone like what to do.
No.
But it would be more of like once they've met those feelings and those parts of themselves.
And you understand where it's come from.
Yeah,
because you would know what to do.
There are also people who like really see, like so many mentors I've followed who tell their stories and like they've manifested, like they started off charging 10K.
Yeah, no, and that's amazing. I mean?
Like one-on-ones, yeah. And that's why I'm like, that's why I just feel like
it's so subjective. Yeah, they're literally just numbers, 100%. And like that's what I was saying before, like not to give you power or anything like to the numbers, but I just think like your energetic expression towards them is what needs work. Yeah,
I agree. I just think deal with the actual emotions that are coming up. It's not what you're doing.
It literally,
even when you have like prices at like, you know, that you're considering like lower compared to other people think that then also attracts like misaligned clients. And I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that at all.
I used to think that. I used to probably even say that. But what I've experienced is you attract what you're an energetic match to, honestly.
No, you do. I feel like if you're in love with your work, you're excited by your work. And like, I just feel like it's not even about like that's an interesting, like, what did you say? What was the word that you used? What type of client? Misaligned clients. I'm like, that's got to do with more than just
I used to attract like people what's that got to... who would like overstep my boundaries.
But that had nothing to do with the pricing of
it. Who were, just like not aligned, didn't understand the work that I did. But I genuinely thought that a lot of that was pricing related, and that's what is taught in the space.
No, that was everything to do with your internal wounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with me. And a lot of people try to solve these problems by putting up their prices, but it doesn't work. Like, you're not actually solving that problem by doing that. If you're not attracting serious clients or, you know, your type of people who value your work and who are putting in the work and who respect your boundaries and all of that, it's a reflection of how you handle these situations.
Yeah.
It's a reflection of what you allow into your space.
Yeah.
And I do want to preface this by saying that I still do get people who like overstep my boundaries and who do those things, but my response is different, and then their response is different. So that's what I mean by like the quality of person you attract is very different.
Yeah. 100%.
So like when I have these conversations where I have to set boundaries in my containers and I have to like reinforce and reestablish like, you know, guidelines and be like, this is how we're doing this space, whatever it is. Those people rise up to meet me at that. They're not fighting back. They're like seeing themselves. It's so different when we're having these like conflict resolution moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
But that has nothing to do with my pricing.
No.
It has everything to do with how I now like hold myself.
Yeah.
And the standard in which I allow into my field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
I feel like we were all over the place.
No, I think we were on the same part, but I just you were saying, no, we were saying the same thing, basically.
Were we?
Absolutely, we're saying the same thing. I thought you were saying like it's never got anything to do with your prices, and I was just thinking like if you're uncomfortable with your prices, you do need to look at that and you do need to address that, and that's what you were just saying in a different way.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like addressing the number. I feel like it's
no, it's not the number.
Yourself.
It's like the stories coming up with that.
Yeah, addressing yourself.
Addressing yourself, like what you know, the parts of you that are comparing and looking at that. The price, those feelings around the price are just illuminating those feelings within.
Yeah,
yeah. The parts of you that are
So then we agree.
We agree. I was saying that the whole time. I'm like, yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Wow, I thought we were going to disagree for the first time.
Shut up. Anyway,
no,
we do disagree on stuff.
Do we actually?
No, not really.
No, we always come to a resolution.
I feel like you and I say similar things. Sometimes we just yap too much that we're just like, it's the same thing, babe. We're just under our subconscious mind's hearing it differently. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
do you feel like you ever try to like just say something to just piss the other person off? Like just like not piss the other person off, but just to offer a different like point of view, but like you actually agree with them? I
don't do that.
No, I do it with Daniel.
I absolutely don't do that.
Daniel does it with me too. Like we'll do
it to just like
we'll just like challenge each other. Like he'll be like, see this perspective, I'm like, but this. But I agree with him. But I'm like, but there's also this.
No, I feel like if I agree.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe I do it, but I don't know that I do that.
Yeah.
I haven't recognized that.
You do it actually sometimes.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
See, that's what I mean. Like I don't know if I've done that.
No, you do that.
I do like to look at all sides of the table, though.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think I do genuinely like to look at all sides of the table.
It's like you see the other person's point of view, but you also want to bring another perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And you want to be the voice for that perspective. I don't know.
Yeah.
If any of this makes sense.
So the next question is, I have recently started my online business and sometimes I feel uncomfortable selling, almost like I'm annoying my audience. What advice would you give to someone who's new to selling?
I think you should start. Okay.
So
Nadia's carrying the team right now.
Shulay's got a sore throat, so she's really scared she's going to like go into a coughing fit because it's been happening for a little while.
Yeah, I've had the cough for like weeks now, so I'm really trying to like watch it.
So anyway, I have some good things to say here.
I've got some good things to
sell here. No, I've got some good things to say. Firstly, just because you've used the word annoyance, I do think that there is a time, like you'll need to actually sit with yourself, like what part of you feels like that annoyance, because that's something that used to happen to me a lot. Like I would feel like I'm annoying the people in my space. And sometimes that can come from like because you're new to business, like you might have used your old social media platform. I don't know if you've started a new one, but sometimes when you have like family members or people that are in your world that, especially when you're an online coach going into something that can be considered a little bit different, or I don't know if you're doing a product-based business, but sometimes those feelings of like having your family members and things like that on there can elicit this feeling of like, am I annoying the people that aren't necessarily interested? So I would really like sit with yourself and go like, ask yourself why you feel like you're annoying people. Now, there could be a multitude of things happening there. There could be a few different stories. And I think like that in itself needs to get looked at. But what I will say, and this is like a piece of advice I really want to share on selling. And it's like the most important thing to anyone who has a business. I don't care if it's a hair product, I don't care if it's like an online coaching business. Like, you have to have this one thing, and that is that you believe in your service or product. Like, you have to believe in it to your core. That is what is going to, one, make you a really, really good seller, but a very genuine seller. And when you believe that to your core, when you know that your work is going to help someone else on the other side, when you know that your work is life transformative, doesn't matter what it is, and you believe that, then those stories of feeling like you're annoying people, or, you know, you're not going to be paying so much attention to that, because all you're going to want to do is put your work out there, because you know it's going to support those people, and the right people are going to be attracted to your work. And I just think, like, it seems like there's so much depth to this feeling of feeling uncomfortable, but I really feel like the moment I gained some personal power in my work, everything changed from there.
Yeah, I love that answer. I think that is the core of the work that you should be doing if this is the one thing that's coming up. And like you said, it's the thing that will make you a genuine seller, and it's actually the thing that's going to make you the most magnetic to your clients. Like, it's not you do it, you know what I mean? Like, that's the work. A lot of people think that this is like a lot harder than it is.
No, it's a really lot of these business problems, the answers are very simple.
It's literally just get connected to your work. Like, connect to your work. Create like such a beautiful, genuine relationship to your offers, to your ability to do your offers. Be the person who is like also the walking and talking example of the work that you put out there as well. And that energy is magnetic. It's unstoppable. It literally, it's so loud. And it, as you said, it trumps all of those insecurities that come up in regards to like, am I being annoying? But something else I wanted to add to this as well is people have free will.
Yeah.
So the people in your life, you know, who might have even projected to you that you're annoying, and I know that you've literally had that at one point.
Absolutely. People
literally saying to her face that she was annoying.
Well, literally, yeah.
Literally to your face.
Literally.
Literally. No, seriously.
It's true.
So if you're in that position, remind these people that they have free will.
Yeah.
They don't have to follow you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also want you to remember that people won't follow you. People won't consume your stories.
They will stop unfollowing, and that's perfectly fine.
Exactly. Yeah. And they can. They have free will, you know. They get to make that choice. And when you remember that, you're like, I'm not forcing anyone to be here and watch this story. Whoever's watching the story are people who want to be here, who are interested.
Yeah. And anyone, so I feel like this comes down to like, see, our answers, this is like why I always say like the answers are simple but deep, because it's like this also, you know, I understand what it feels like to be new to selling, and it might take a little bit of, you know, being in the arena to just like keep honing in on your work, keep, you know, showing up for your work, and those feelings, I do promise you they do leave after a while, and it just might be because you're new that it's like they're just being brought up, but eventually you really stop giving a shit what anyone else thinks, anyone that's not aligned, anyone that's not meant to be there. Like, you just kind of get over it, because you're just like, you understand the importance of what you're doing.
Yeah, you really do. I also recommend, if you're having this stuff come up to selling, because something can happen like ego-wise that you might not realize, and maybe it's already happening, but when you have this discomfort to selling, what you might find yourself doing is like going quiet and like diluting your voice. So with that, knowing that you have this insecurity there, knowing that you have this like limiting belief, make it a mission, make it a goal, make it a rule that every single day you're going to show up no matter what insecurity is coming up. And the more and more you face this feeling and you move past it and you keep showing up and doing the thing that's scaring you, it's going to pass. It's going to literally get to a point where you're going to think back to this version of you and you're going to be like, who is she?
Yeah.
Or who is she? You know what I mean? You're going to be like, don't know them.
Yeah.
You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. I feel like that's like, to really simply, that's like the best way to go about that. So hopefully that advice really does help.
Yeah.
Get on to the next question.
Shall I?
You shall go.
Shall I?
Shall I?
Lately, my life has been filled with surprises and manifestations coming through. Yay! But if I'm being honest, I don't want to jinx it and tell a lot of people about my desires coming to fruition. Is this normal to feel? Can I jinx my manifestations?
You want to take the reins with this one?
Yes. Oh God, where to start with this? I have lots of opinions on jinxing manifestations and like evil eye and those sorts of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you cannot. That's like the simple answer. Nobody can jinx your manifestations. Nobody has that influence over your life. Yeah.
100%. I think like if you when you understand how energy works and things like that, it's like you're in charge of your own life. You're the creator of your own life, right? That's why like we all have different souls, and we all have like different guidance systems. We have our own intuition. We are the creators of our own life. So it actually like makes no sense to think that like anything outside of yourself, and this like comes back to personal power, anything can actually impact what's meant for you and what's like destined for you. The only way that not jinx isn't the right word, but the only way that you can have what's meant for you impacted or things like happening is if you allow them to. So like if you start dropping your energy thinking that like something can, stop something from happening or stop the flow of abundance coming through, good things happening into your life, the only way is you. And and that's where people don't recognize that like things start going south, but it's like it's actually most likely yourself.
Yeah.
Not most likely it is.
It is you. It's your perception.
Yeah.
And also think about this, right? If your view on the world is, it can be taken away from me.
Or if you even have those like very, very subconscious feelings.
Yeah. Like if you're thinking like, I'm scared to talk about this because it could be taken away, then what I really urge you to do is look into where you're putting so much power into these physical 3D manifestations coming through. Because it's great. Like, these things are great. We want to enjoy the 3D. We want to enjoy our desires coming to fruition. But if you are making this like so important to the point where you're like, I'm scared to talk about it because what happens if it leaves? That needs to be paid attention because I guarantee there will be a moment where it will leave because things ebb and flow.
They do.
Things change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if your happiness and your sense of like, fulfillment is coming from these things being there, that's not going to last and it will crumble.
Yeah.
I've been in that experience so many times. Telling you from personal experience here. This is where we talk about personal power. This is where we talk about the importance of you not sourcing from outside of yourself. We've done so many episodes on this, on like surrender and things like that. Like I highly recommend going back to listen to those episodes just to remind you like where the power and the source is lies with, which is literally within you, not from outside of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Do you want to share anything else in regards to that?
No, I think we hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, nothing can fuck with you. Nothing can fuck with you. Nobody can send you bad energy. It's all your beliefs.
Yeah, 100%. It's like also, just to add to that, because I just said I didn't. Life does its thing. Life will always do its thing. How you respond to life can have an impact on the type of life you have. But I just feel like there is no way it's just life will always do its thing. Your job is to just stay in your lane. Don't believe that don't put so much power to things being taken away like Shirley has mentioned, but yeah, just really stay in your lane. Focus on what it is that you're trying to do and just understand that life will always do its thing and people don't have that much power over you. It's just to sum it up.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so another question we have is, I always hear debates online about strategy versus energy. What is important to focus on, one or the other? What is more important to focus on?
Strategy versus energy. I am of the belief, and this has been trial and error, baby. I am of the belief that it is like a 99% energy, 1% strategy.
Yeah. Well, even then, I feel like it's like I don't know. Like even for me, the way I see it is your strategy, which is just the way you execute something, right? So, like your strategy, like if you're a painter, it's like are you doing it on a canvas? Are you doing it on a piece of paper? Like that's all it is, right? That's just part of your energetic, that's just part of your energy. That just kind of gets revealed. You okay?
Yeah.
She's touching my foot.
Because I'm trying to get you to stop tapping.
Oh, sorry.
It's like it's going to be so annoying for the audio.
Or you. I didn't even know I was tapping.
The audio, dolly.
Like, I didn't even know I was tapping.
You were. That foot was going tap it up tap.
Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying was, let me know if I do it.
Yeah.
No, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So your strategy would just be a part of your energy, like your intuition. And what I mean by this is like when you're operating from in business, when you're not operating from from shoulds, have tos, and you're in flow, your what you want to do in your business, like for example, like you will get led to like, I want to run a masterclass, I want to do this, and like that's the strategy is just kind of the way in which you execute something. So it's like always understand that your energy is what's manifesting. Always understand that it's not like I feel like it's a dumb debate to be like, is it strategy versus energy? Like there will be moments where you're led to changing something in the way that your business is for good reason. Like for example, like if you have a system that's not supporting your business and things like that. But it's like, it's not the strategy that's like doing that. Like, it's like you could do it in a billion different ways. That's why you have people successful in many different ways in how they got there, right? Mm-hmm. There's no right or wrong way. It's just like your energy is what's impacting you. Surely not.
You were doing it while you were talking. I don't think you're realizing
No, I'm not. But like,
it's weird.
Can you even hear that?
You can't hear that, but like you weren't doing that.
Okay, sorry. It's just my feet have to move while my hands do.
I know, why are your feet moving?
I don't know. It's just a habit.
Your feet are like expressing.
It's expressing. Anyway, so like basically your strategy, there is no debate around this. It's your energy is influencing your results, influencing your life, and you will be led to the way in which to execute in your business.
Perfectly said. Honestly, there's like there's
no much more. Like I said, I feel like it's a silly debate, and I understand it because I was in it for a while. But like, just when you understand how universal law works, when you understand how this,
I wish we could get up our past like messages of how we used to be like, but is it? Am I doing the
right? Yeah, and I think a lot of the time when things aren't popping off in our business or we don't feel like the momentum's there, it's very easy to go into like, what am I doing wrong? Blah blah blah. It's like it's so uncomfortable to be like, maybe something's wrong with my energy. Maybe like I am closing myself off. Or
no, that's half the problem. Yeah. That's what people are doing. Yeah. People are creating from this like discomfort of lack of momentum, feeling unsafe, in lack of money. And they're trying to create an outcome. So they're trying to change their strategy. They're trying to better their marketing, better their words, hone in on like I don't know. It's crazy to see how people try and avoid themselves through like masking it as like strategies and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not what this is asking of you.
Yeah.
There is nothing to change. There is nothing to do at this current stage. You are being asked to sit with this feeling, to transmute it, again, witness it, let it go. We talk so much about that on this podcast. And through that, once you do that, the energy is going to transmute. And then from there, as you said, you're in alignment. You're connected to your work. Life is going to show you where to go. Like your soul will show you if anything needs to change. And it's a knowing.
Yeah. And
it's loud and clear. There's no questions. There's no should I, shouldn't I. If you're in the should I, shouldn't I, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's you trying to create, change what you're doing to create an outcome.
Yeah.
But I want to describe this on an energetic level to you. When you're creating from that place in your business and you're like, I'm not seeing sales, so maybe it's like this strategy and I need to do this instead. What energy is that creating from? Let's look at the energetic undercurrent. Lack, without, don't have, need.
So you just keep getting those same results no matter how much you change.
Exactly. That's the same thing again and again and again and again.
Yeah. And if there is something that needs to be changed, if there's a system that needs to be put in, if, there's a sexier way to sell your masterclass, it's not going to come from an energy of like lack. It's going to come from overflow. And it's going to come from like, the other day I actually had this desire to like change my one-to-one page, but it didn't come from like, this isn't enough. It came from, I have so much to say here. Like I have
exactly
this, I have clarity on I want this space to look like. And it came from that place, and like, I just feel like you'll be led. There's no point like just constantly trying to change things because you're not seeing momentum and things like that. I just feel your higher self, if something needs to be changed, or you just be led through your excitement, and you'll be led through that way,
Yeah. And like when you think about it in terms of energy and frequency, you just see how much of a waste of time it actually is.
Yeah.
And why you keep creating the same thing over and over again. It makes sense.
And like, we have had like clients in moments where like, you know, their sales page was done from, like, the energy behind it was like either like uncomfortable or didn't want to use specific words. So like, yes, there is moments to like look at your sales page and look at, but it's like coming from this energy, like where's the energy coming from? Like there might be moments in your work where you're not being super clear, you're being very vague, you're not honing in on the points. It's like it's confusing what you are selling. But it's like the problem with that is like you transforming your sales page, when that's happened, you'll probably just end up with the same situation, with the same vague words, same this, same that, because you're not like underneath all that is like a deeper issue.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like whenever I'm like addressing those sorts of things to clients, it's like this is happening, but this is why this is happening. This is why you're using those words because you're not connected to the work.
That's exactly right. So it's like I just find a lot of problems,
like energy.
A lot of the problems in the way you're selling the things. It's like it's your energy behind it.
Yeah.
Perfectly said. Love it. I think we're going to wrap this episode up.
Yeah, the camera's
flashing.
Camera is dying. So camera's like, shut the fuck up, galleys.
Yeah.
No, that was good. I enjoyed that. I did not fart. That was that, if anyone's wondering. That was not me. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode, guys. We love you lots. Please, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with people in your life, share it with friends, family. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Reach out to us. We've been hearing from a couple of you and I've been loving it because I love hearing who's like listening and how you're vibing with the episodes. And obviously we want this to be a co-creative space. So let us know what you want to see from us. Comment, like on YouTube, Spotify. I think you can comment on Spotify now as well. Let us know let us know your
you could do that.
You can. So let us know how you're feeling with the episodes, your takeaways, all of the things.
Yeah.
We're sending you so much love and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
I feel like I have to go peace because I keep doing that.
Yeah, you do.